You know, it's very shocking and telling that we live in a society that's so sensitive, that doesn't really rely on truth, just for clicks and likes. So much so that there are three words that can almost ruin your life in all sectors if you're not careful. There's literally three words, if you were to say them, and depending on who you're talking to, that could almost ruin you. Whether you are a celebrity or not, whether you're a big name or not, whether you have a lot of money or not. There's just three words. Those three words are I feel like. Someone using that term together could almost cause you to lose family, friends, job, and career. For some people, it could end them up in jail or prison if they're not careful. All because you don't agree with someone's ideology, or you don't agree with where someone's coming from with the term. Because you have to ask yourself, when you're having a conversation with someone and they use the term or use those three words together, I feel like, you have to really ask yourself, seriously, today, you have to seriously ask yourself, what is the outcome of having this type of conversation with this person? Is my relationship going to be impacted, or my friendship going to be impacted with them speaking from how they feel? When someone's having a conversation based on how they feel, like they feel, I feel, there's no rationale in that. There's no logic in that. There's no reasoning in that. Now, although they're speaking from their feelings, because you have to take it as such. You can't just disregard it and dismiss it. You have to take it as such. If someone's talking to you from their feelings, you have to be completely open to what they're saying to you, especially if they're confiding in you. If they're confiding in you with something that they have been deeply dealing with, then that's completely different. But just a casual conversation of I feel like, you have to be mindful and cognizant that you really don't know which direction that conversation is going to go, because it's not a logical conversation. Now, that doesn't give the person that's not speaking from I feel like the opportunity to be disrespectful and rude, but you have to just be mindful of where that conversation is headed. Because one may say you have a phobia depending on the type of conversation you have, just because you don't agree with the way someone else feels. And that's not fair. That's not fair to you, just because you don't agree with someone or their lifestyle or what they decide to do. That's non-related to what you're actually saying. And you, as someone who's trying to speak objectively and not subjectively, you have a right to stand 10 toes down on what you believe and what you have proof to show for it. But we live in a world that's so sensitive that, as I mentioned, society will diagnose you with a disorder or a phobia that you've never had a day in your life. So when you're having conversations and the term I feel like is brought up, you have to be very mindful of what direction that conversation can go. And if that could be the last time you actually have a conversation with someone. Because I don't think true relationships or friendships should end based off a conversation in regards to that. If it does, you were never that person's friend, or they were never your friend, or y'all weren't as close as you thought you were in the first place. Conversations, friendships, and relationships don't end off of that. And if you definitely disagree, leave a comment. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon. Later.